Hello. Sorry about that. I started to record and then it was like kicking me out for some reason or telling me to leave. So that was weird. But hello. And welcome to the third episode of today's podcast, Tarot Talk Therapy, the Revamp. My name is Ishani Way, and I am an intuitive tarot reader. I am the author of guided journals, and I need therapy. And so I created this podcast because, in lieu of an actual therapist, I have been using my tarot deck to allow me to check in with myself and as well as the collective, but to see where I'm at in different aspects of my life in all areas, and just being able to receive validation from an objective source, i.e., the tarot deck. And so I am dressed a little differently today. I am also an Aberisha. I am a student of the practice of Ifa, the Isheshe tradition, and I am a son of Shango. And Shango has made it apparent that he wants to be involved with my podcast, and especially just with my readings in general. So I'm going to allow him to participate, to help me and support me with the readings that I do. And I look forward to seeing how his presence improves things. So we're going to go ahead and get started. I'm shooting this very late into the evening. It's actually officially Thursday now, which is probably fitting given that this is Shango's first appearance on the podcast, and Thursdays are his day, or at least one of his days during the week. So I'm very tired. So I apologize in advance if my energy is low, but I do expect that as we start to roll along, that energy will start to increase. But it is my goal to try and be as concise as possible. I can tend to be a yapper. I am someone that can sometimes repeat myself a lot. And so I have asked Baba Shango to help me to be concise with my messages, to just be very clear with what needs to come through, so that I don't have to be here for longer than I have to be. Or that I need to be. So let's go ahead and get started. We are going to first roll the dice. The first being the Intuit Digit dice. This is going to give us a general theme in terms of the numerological energy that is present, or that has been present this past week. And then we will also be rolling for the personal and universal chakras as well. And I'll get into what those are once we're beginning to roll. Oh, but let's go ahead and get started with the Intuit Digit. So let's see what energy has been prevalent this past week. Ooh, we have the number 8. And the number 8, in numerology, is all about manifestation. It's about alchemy. It's about abundance. The number 8 also deals with or represents infinite energy, the ebb and flow of energy, the fact that energy is neither created nor destroyed. It is simply transformed into, in a new form. So with this coming up for the past week, I would say that we have been recognizing our power. And I feel like this actually corresponds to, just the progression that we've been having with these past few weeks. But we've been stepping into our power, realizing our power, and beginning to take things or um, have more of our hand in things. We're starting to take things by the reins. We are um, putting action behind our thoughts, behind our intentions. I know that I believe last week I mentioned how um, a lot of times we can, especially myself, we can tend to plan a lot, have a lot of ideas and aspirations for things, and yet we have trouble sometimes with actually putting you know, work to the plan or putting the plan to work. And I feel like this past week, I can definitely say that I have been shifting out of simply thinking about something and actually doing it. So hopefully this is something that you are resonating with as well. And I do believe that through this shift, because again, the first week we were talking about our safety, feeling safe enough to even do things. And then the second week we were discussing being sure to protect ourselves, and also to what else did we discuss? Watch episode 2 if you haven't already. But um, uh, putting our putting our best foot forward, and realizing our power again. And with this 8 coming up, it's just showing me that there's definitely a linear progression that we are making, and improvements that we are making um, in the stage that we're in our life currently. So I like that. I like that. I like to have the number 8 show up. Um, Being that, like I said, it is a number of like manifestations. It's a pretty good number to see, to indicate that your manifestations are very close to coming to fruition. So I like to see the number 8. Now we're going to start rolling for the personal and universal chakras. Now the personal is the energy center within our auric field that is in need of attention, or that has been uh, just needs to just needs to be again made aware. We need to be made aware of. And then the universal chakra is the energy center that the universe, our environment, is utilizing to engage with us, and what it is trying to like remind us of. So these are 12-sided die. Okay. So for the personal chakra, we received the 12th, which is actually the aura itself. So we received our aura. And then for the universal chakra, we received the 5th. And the 5th chakra is the throat chakra. And I like this pairing as well. So with the personal chakra, coming up as the aura. Look at the camera. With this coming up as the aura, this is telling me that we are like being called to truly pay attention to ourselves wholly, holistically, uh, doing our best to truly evaluate and measure like our energetic frequency, being able to recognize when we are, either allowing too many things to impact our aura, like lacking spiritual boundaries, or even just lacking personal boundaries, and allowing things to fluctuate or impact and influence our energetic field. And then with the universal chakra, with the throat coming up, the universe is providing us or interacting with us to give us more opportunities to speak our truth, to express ourselves authentically. I like these two pairings coming up together as well. One, because I do feel like, again, this is a very good progression that we've been making these past couple of weeks. And I feel like Whew. I feel like with the first week we started with the root chakra as our personal chakra, and last week we had the sort of like juxtaposition of the ninth and 10th chakras. So I like that we are now being called to sort of like bring a culmination of our energy centers and focusing on our overall um, energetic frequency, and also again being given opportunities to recognize where we may have been inauthentic with our expression, and giving us opportunities to communicate in a way that is effective and in a way that is cathartic for us. um, I like these. I definitely like these coming up. So next, sorry if it feels like I'm kind of rushing through things, but like I said, I am tired and I really want to get in the bed. I have a sick baby in the bed right now, and I want to be sure that I'm able to get some rest so that I can tend to him. But next, we're going to start pulling for from the card. So this will be the basis of our therapy session. And this is where we get into the different aspects of our lives and how exactly I'll be doing this is by pulling from each suit of the minor arcana and then also from the major arcana separately. So with the major arcana first, this is going to give us again a major theme for the past week. Goodness gracious, I'm just exhausted, honestly. I had an early day today too, so I'm just really, really tired. But let's go ahead and find out what major arcana card represents our energy for this past week. And I haven't figured out whether or not recording with the microphone or without the microphone is better. Without it is definitely more convenient just because I don't have to worry about hitting it or worrying about the battery dying while I'm recording. But in terms of the quality, definitely let me know in the comments if you have a preference in terms of using the actual microphone or simply using the built-in microphone on my phone. All right, let's see what comes up. It looked like Justice wanted to come out. Okay, not a big cut today. Ooh, we have the Emperor in reverse. So what I'm getting with this is the message that came to mind is that we have been feeling confident to do things and to take action. However, it has felt like we are being met with obstacles each time. It's like each time that we rise to the occasion, it feels as though there is some sort of hiccup that just keeps it from being, just a smooth execution of things. I thought I heard the baby. Sorry. But that's what I'm getting with this Emperor in the reverse. With the Emperor being present, this is definitely telling me that, we are in fact stepping into more of a leadership, more of a waymaker role. Goodness. In our lives. We have been working on, making things happen rather than simply taking the things that happen. But again, with this coming up in the reverse, this is telling me that like there are times when we almost like while we understand that we have control over, again, like ourselves, we have control over what it is that we do, it feels like, again, we're being met with some sort of just like hindrances, or even just inconveniences that almost remind us of how much we do not have control over. And I know that we touched on that last week as well. Um, yeah, that's everything that I'm getting from the Emperor card right now. I do feel like, again, and this is something that I always say, when a card presents itself reversed, it can always be flipped. The energy being present there means that we can, in fact, step into a more like flexible, or like, goodness, ooh, sorry, what we can step into a more flexible, or like almost permeable state when it comes to our emperorhood. Like, we can still operate with a sense of like grace and flow, even while you know executing or exhibiting a sense of confidence and leadership and pursuit when it comes to what it is that we want to do in our lives. It can be tough, especially with the emperor being a highly masculine energy, compared to, of course, the empress. It can be hard to sort of feel like every time that you try to do something, you get sort of like knocked back a bit, or you just get met with a closed door, or any sort of inconvenience in that type of way. It can be very frustrating, because it can feel like almost as though our actions don't actually matter, or that whatever it is that we set our minds to doesn't actually bring forth any sort of change, because it seems like even when we do our part, somebody else is not doing theirs, or somebody else wants to go against it, or whatever the case is, or a system goes down, someone doesn't answer an email, stuff like that. And it can kind of chip away at you sometimes, especially when it happens over and over again. However, the lesson is learning how to remain in that confidence, and in that, excuse me, that level of like self mastery, and you know uh I'm so sorry. uh but yeah, it can be hard to keep our wits about us when we are, again, like continuously being met with some sort of obstacle or hindrance every time that we uh, go about doing something. But as I was saying, that we can flip this energy and still remain set and sure within ourselves, and recognizing that even with these hindrances or obstacles presenting themselves in the face of our action, it is not a reflection of our worth. It is not a reflection of our value, because what our value and our worth is inherent. It is completely independent of whatever may be going on the outside. So yeah, that's what I'm getting with the Emperor card. Next, we're going to pull from the Staff Suit, and this is going to give us where we are, like spiritually, as well as where we are in terms of our passions, in terms of our willpower. Let's see, what Staff Suit. Oh boy, goodness gracious. prayerfully I can record this at a decent hour next week so that I'm not just yawning in y'all's ear all night. Goodness. Let's see what staff's card needs to, or is related, is representative of our energy for this past week. Okay. Ooh, okay. We have the Three of Staffs. I like to see this card. So in terms of where we are spiritually, we are seeing ourselves in where it is that we are actually trying to go. Like we're able to visualize, we are able to actually have some sort of focus on where it is that we are going and where it is that we want to go. With the number 3 in numerology deals with expression, deals with creativity. So with the Three of Staffs, it's almost like being able to like see or create, your actual map for your journey, like being able to see the steps that you actually want to take, the stepping stones that you want to lay out in front of you, or that the path that you want to go down. It's definitely having a optimistic view on your future, being able to look at where you're going with a sense of appreciation and admiration as well, rather than sort of like this daunting task. I definitely like this coming up with the 8 as our intuit digit, because again, it's almost like we're able to see where we're going and we're also feeling like it's actually possible for us to do it. So that's definitely a great combination to have. All right, next we're going to pull from the Pentacles suit, or the Coins suit. This is going to give us where we are in terms of our finances, in terms of our career, in terms of our resources and material things. All right. What Coins card is related to us for this past week? Last time we had the King of Coins. I will say that personally, I may still be learning on how to embrace the King of Coins energy, but I know that it's getting there. I know it's getting there. Let's see. Okay. We have the Five of Coins in the reverse. So with the Five of Coins, when this card is right side up, it typically discusses or represents a feeling of sort of like remorse, having a focus on the things that you have lost, the things that have changed and that are no longer the case. But the reminder is to focus on what is still present, what is still taking care of you. With this coming up in the reverse, this is telling me that we are exiting out of the stage or the phase of being in remorse or being in mourning for what it is that we have lost. The focus is being brought back to what it is that still exists, what it is that has sustained or survived the changes and the challenges that we've been going through. With the number 5, the number 5 in numerology deals with freedom. It deals with changes, adaptability. And essentially, the Five of Coins is essentially the changes that can occur with our finances and with our resources. So, being able to again, like, bring our focus and our attention to the things that are still there, that we are able to still rely on, um, and shifting out of the grief from, excuse me, shifting out of the grief from losing, or the changes that occurred with our finances or our resources, um, and shifting into more so of a sense of gratitude that they were there. There's a big ass roach. Hold on 1 second, please. Ugh, got him. I need pest control to come back. But uh, yeah, it's shifting into a sense of gratitude for the fact that they were there at all, right? The fact that they did serve a purpose at one point, even though they may not be here now, they helped us to get to where we are now. So it's good to see the Five of Coins in particular to come up in the reverse. So I want to take a very quick, brief moment to give a word from our sponsor, who is me. I am the sponsor. So the name of my company is Habitual Rituals LLC, and the mission of my company is to assist those that may have neurodivergencies to be able to engage in accessible spiritual practices. Not only do I offer personal readings, which are currently 50% off on my website if you use the code HOOKUP, HOOKUP. You can get any of the services for 30% off right now. But also, I have guided journals that I have published, and they are 30-day guided journals. They have 30 days of prompts as well as 30 days of affirmations inside as well. And here are the titles. So there is 30 Days of Talking to My Shadow. This is a general shadow work journal. It covers 4 different themes for each week. It goes over trust, fear, love, and pain. And then we have 30 Days of Talking to My Money. This is a money mindset journal, getting to know what your true thoughts are about money, who some of your money role models are. Look at the camera. Who some of your money role models are, who some of your poor money role models were, what your true aspirations or goals are for your money, and things of that nature. Then we have 30 Days of Talking to My Inner Teen. This is all about you getting to know who your inner teen is. It goes over things that we loved about being a teenager, things that we hated about being a teenager, and other stuff related to our adolescent years. And then we have 30 Days of Talking to My Inner Child. This as well discusses or allows you to connect with little you, as I refer to them in the journal. And it goes over not only the lighter sides, but also the more challenging sides of being a child, or your childhood in particular. And then finally, we have a grief and loss journal, 30 Days of Talking to My Lost Loved One. This one is all about you being able to recall and reminisce on moments, significant moments with your lost loved one. It allows you to just connect with them again personally. It even talks about, like aspirational things, things that you may not have been able to tell them personally or while they were still alive, updating them on your life since their passing, talking about some of your most just like memorable moments with them. So those are the guided journals. Those are the journals of the 30 Days of Talking to My series. They are available on my website. They are available on TikTok Shop, and they are also available on Amazon with Prime shipping. So if you are interested, all of the information will be down below, wherever you are viewing or listening to this podcast. Thank you very much for listening to my spiel. Let's go ahead and continue. We're going to pull now from the Cups suit. The Cups suit deals with our emotional state as well as our relationships. So let's see where we are in terms of that for this past week. What Cups card is related to us for this past week? Okay. We have the Seven of Cups in reverse. Okay. Whew. So what I am getting with this, I kind of got two messages. So one being that some of us might be potentially, because the Seven of Cups is all about having a plethora of options, having the ability to choose. And I think that this card actually came up in one of the weeks, in one of the episodes. But it's about having the option to choose for yourself what it is that you want to invest your emotions into. The thing is, though, is that some options are good and for our highest good. Some options are bad or, not necessarily for our highest good, or can sort of like derail us or, you know, uh, cause us to make a detour on our path. But with this card coming up in the reverse, the two messages that I received is that one, some of us might be feeling a bit overwhelmed with the choices that we have, with the amount of choice that we have within our lives. Like some of us might be starting to feel a little bit like overwhelmed or almost even like paralyzed with the amount of choice that we have. Now, the thing is also, the message that I was receiving is that some of us are starting to actually commit to a choice. So it is moving out from, just observing or seeing what options that we have. It is now about actually committing to one of these choices, or, several, however it applies to you. But I will say for those that might be feeling a bit overwhelmed by the choice, understand that, and this could also be, why this Emperor energy is in the reverse as well. For some people, they might be, recognizing or starting to step into their power as, the emperor of their kingdom, but they might be a bit shaken by the responsibility that comes with that, with the weight that comes with that. I do want to encourage you to say that while there while it may, appear that there are right choices and wrong choices to make, right? Understand that no matter what choice it is that you make, you will still end up where it is you need to end up. And this is a term in Ifa, but our Ori, our head, our destiny is truly, like assigned to us, and nothing can really keep us from getting to our destiny except for ourselves. And the thing is that as long as we continue to show up and as long as we continue to make a choice, we will end up where it is that we need to be. Granted, again, some journeys might end up being extended, right? Some journeys might end up being detoured around, and we might end up, sort of like on excursions along the way. But at the end of the day, the destination is still the destination, and you will get there as long as that is, what it is that you're trying to do. And the universe will support you in getting there as well. And even if, again, you make a quote unquote wrong choice, the universe is also very good. God is really good at showing us when something or when a particular choice is sort of, like shifting us away from the direct path or the direct line to where it is that we're trying to go. So don't be afraid to make a choice. Don't be afraid to, commit to something. Know that regardless of what it is that you commit to, as long as it's not committing to, sitting on your ass, or sorry, as long as you're not committing to not doing anything, you will be making steps and making progress toward where it is that you're trying to go, where it is that you are seeing yourself going with this Three of Staffs here. Okay. And now finally, let's pull from the Sword Suit. And this is going to give us a look into our mentality, a look into how we are, or how we have been handling conflict in our lives. All right, let's see. What Swords card has been related to us for this past week? Okay, we got the Seven of Swords in the upright. So, one thing that I always get with this card, or that I always like sort of point out, or sorry, the thing that has always drawn my attention when it comes to this card is that, if you're watching on YouTube, is that you can't necessarily tell if the person on the card is removing the swords or if they are placing the swords down into the ground. And how I see this, how I interpret this card, is that we are doing our due diligence to try and either protect or like goodness gracious, how do I say this? It's like we're either trying to protect our thoughts and protect our mindset, whether that be, like, whoa, I don't even know how that just happened. But sorry. But we're either trying to protect our mindset and like protect the ideas that we have in our mind, or we are beginning to like loosen the reins and open our mind to new information and potentially even like different perspectives and things like that. With the number seven in numerology deals with like individuality. It is the number of divinity, like divine creation. And I've always associated it with like being able to be like your most individualized self. And again, like with the sword suit in particular, it's saying to me that like, again, we are either trying to like solidify and protect at all costs our individuality and the way that we think, and like just trying to you know just be so sure. There's another freaking bug. Goodness. Hold on. So sorry. I can't wait to get out of this apartment. Got it. Okay. And the thing is, the pest control just sprayed last week. But clearly it's just not enough. But again, as I was saying, is that some of us are trying to protect who we are as a person, who we are as an individual mentally, or we are seeing that we might need to be open to influence, or we are inspired by, you know, other people being their authentic selves, and it's starting to sort of like shift how it is that we view ourselves mentally. Um, and, you know, allowing us to sort of just like develop ourselves as an individual with our mindset. So, whew, yeah, that's what I'm getting with the tarot. Um, just to recap really super briefly and quickly, we are entering and stepping into our our responsibility when it comes to our lives, our ability to actually make things occur, make things happen for ourselves. We are seeing that we can actually envision where it is that we want to go, and we actually do have some sort of optimism when it comes to getting there, and seeing the journey is not something that is, excuse me, treacherous or scary to undertake, but is something that we are going about it with a sense of optimism again, and a sense of joy for the journey. We are moving into a space of leaving the grief for changes and losses when it comes to our finances and resources, and we are beginning to express and live in gratitude for the things that have sustained or survived those challenges, the things that have still been able to take care of us through all of the challenges and changes that we've been experiencing. Some of us might be feeling a bit discouraged when it comes to, or rather overwhelmed when it comes to the amount of choice that we have. And some of us might be actually starting to fully commit to a particular choice that it is that we have in terms of where it is that we want to put our emotional capital. And at the same time, we are uh, learning how to think for ourselves. We are learning how to uh, be true and authentic as an individual in our minds, and allowing ourselves to not only be inspired and influenced positively by others that we actually admire or see some sort of, you know, positive attributes in, but we are also protecting and keeping safe within ourselves our own individuality and our own beliefs about, you know, who we are as a person and where it is that we're actually trying to go. Okay. I like this. I like this. Now I'm going to pull the collective oracle cards. These are going to be extremely straightforward because of the decks that I've chosen, and I've included this time the golden mantras deck. So we're going to get some mantras for ourselves that we can repeat that will, you know, just help us to um, improve and take care of that aura that we have been called to bring our attention to. So we're going to find out what lessons our souls are learning right now, or have been learning this past week. Okay. Let's see. Okay. Patience. Patience. I accept that everything happens in divine order. Yes, I can definitely say. And then we have failure on the bottom. I understand. In reverse, though, I understand that a mistake is only an opportunity to learn. So with patience and failure, we are understanding that, and this is with that Emperor card, we are being encouraged to not allow, again, the hiccups to, you know, completely break us or to completely, destroy us. We are seeing that hiccups in our way are not indications that we are failing in any way, shape, or form. It is simply an exhibit of the fact that free will is present on this earth, and that things do in fact happen in divine order and divine timing. So regardless of when we want it to happen, it's going to happen when it happens. So definitely practicing that patience, and having just that sense of reassurance that everything is still okay. We are not failing. We are not, we're not falling off the wagon completely. Okay. All right. Next, we're going to get the angel message. What angel message do we need for this past week? What messages do our angels have for us? Okay. We have expect miracles. Now, this did come up in the reverse. So it might be a little bit hard for us to expect miracles just because, again, we might have been, experiencing a lot of hiccups, experiencing a lot of setbacks. But understand, again, that things are, in fact, happening in divine timing. This is one of the mantras that I've been listening to over and over again. And it says, the universe is never late. God is always on time. My destiny is revealing itself in divine timing. I definitely encourage you, if that card doesn't come up tonight, just listen to that mantra, practice that mantra, repeat that mantra, because it should help you. It will help you with accepting the ebb and flow of life, of the certainties and uncertainties that are simply, a part of life. Next, let's go ahead. We're going to pull from the Moonology deck. We do have a full moon this evening, a full blue moon, if I remember correctly, in Aries. So I do want to get a message from the moon. And these cards are extremely straightforward. What message or messages from the moon do we need for this past week? Okay. We have a time to give rather than take. New moon in Virgo. So even while, we again are being met with hiccups, being met with just obstacles, we still need to show up. We still need to, do our part, because this is the ooh, a new romantic cycle begins. Now, for some of us, and they're both new moons, new moon in Libra and new moon in Virgo. So one, I'm claiming this whole new romantic cycle begins. But secondly, I just want to say that it's a time to give rather than to take. This is a time for us to still show up for ourselves, regardless of what is happening on the outside, regardless of what is happening in the world. We need to still be doing what we are called to do. And we need to be of service, to people when it comes to the gifts that we have. So be reminded that it is good. It is good to give, and also all that it is that we give will be returned back unto us at the right time. Again, now with this new romantic cycle begins, it can very much well just be that some of us are going to be entering into relationships soon. For those of you that are in relationships, you might be experiencing a new level of your relationship, or just a new, like chapter when it comes to your relationship. And for those of us that are not interested necessarily or not ready for any sort of romantic relationship, this romantic cycle can also simply just be a new like view of life when it comes to the romanticizing of your life, being able to um, appreciate the little things, being able to see the beauty in all that is within your life, and just being able to fall in love with not only yourself, but also with the life that you are living, and creating for yourself. So I like these. And now finally, let's go ahead and get the mantras. Whoa, whoa, whoa! The deck is not decking. I split it and there are cards in the wrong direction. Goodness gracious. And I'm not someone to just be, it could just be a preference, but I'm not someone to just shuffle a deck and it's all out of order and stuff. I like everything facing at least just facing the same direction, whether it be right side up or upside down. At least let all the backs be one side, all the fronts be on another. Okay, I sometimes I watch Natija Cave, um, her videos, and I'll see the decks that she's using as she shuffles, and it's just like, oh my gosh, how do you do it? Because that would drive me crazy. All right. Let's get 3 mantras for the collective. 3 mantras for us to utilize for this next week, upcoming week. Okay. We have, I honor the beauty of stillness. Ooh. I honor the beauty of stillness. So even while, again, it might feel like we are taking 1 step forward and 2 steps back, understand that there is still beauty in that. There is still beauty in all of the path that we are on. There is beauty in all of the experiences that we have. There is beauty in not only the progress, but also the stillness. Okay. I love that. Then we have, it is a wonderful day to speak and live in my truth. Okay. With the throat chakra card coming, or dice coming up. It's a wonderful day to speak and live in my truth. And also that 7 of Swords too. Perfect. Perfect, perfect, perfect. And then lastly, we have let it go, let it flow. Let it go, let it flow. Now, I do want to mention that the I honor the beauty and stillness and the let it go, let it flow cards, they did come up in the reverse. So these might be mantras or energies that we might have a little bit of challenge of, fully embracing and fully accepting. Look at the camera. We're almost done. Great. But just be aware that the more that you repeat the mantra, the more that you sit yourself within that energy, the more that you submerge your subconscious mind in these, energies, the easier it will be for you to be able to actually feel it, for you to actually believe in it. Okay. And the more that you do, the more that you'll be able to see it, in your life, to be able to, witness it within your life. So, this is the end of this episode, you guys. We made it, and it's less than 60 minutes. That's great. I appreciate you if you have listened this far. I appreciate you if you take the time to check out my offers down in the description box. I appreciate you if you share this with someone that you think might resonate with it as well. Thank you in advance. I appreciate you. I hope that you have a good rest of your week, and I'll see you next week. Peace.